Alright guys, if you can't tell what I'm going to make, I'm sharing with you my Play-Doh recipe. Well, not technically my recipe, but I take the no-bake recipe. That's my favorite. I worked in a daycare and made this almost weekly or bi-weekly. So I thought I'd share what I've learned throughout the times doing it. And you will need boiling water, flour, salt, table salt, oil, cream of tartar, and these are my, and you're going to need a mixing bowl, mixing spatula, spoon, measuring cups, and the optionals are I guess food coloring. Most people use that. This is what I use for scent, cinnamon, so it has a nice smell. And I use gloves so that I don't get food coloring stains. And when you're doing this, the water is hot, so you will want to work quickly. And I find the best, after you've used the spoon a bit, you really have to use your hands for the best consistency and to make it move along a lot faster. So let's get started. We've got all these things here, and I've got my actual measuring ingredients over here. So let's put that back up there. You will need 2 cups of plain all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, ½ cup salt, 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar, that's what preserves it, up to 1½ cups boiling water, and you're adding increments until you feel that it's coming together just right. Food coloring optional, a few drops of glycerin is optional for adding shine. I've never done that, so we're not going to be doing that today. And this is a shout out to the Imagination Tree is where I'm getting this from today. Alright, so my water is just about to a boil, so I'm going to stop it there. It is definitely going to be hot enough for what we need. And I'm going to put in my dry ingredients. So we have 2 cups of flour, our ½ cup salt, whoops, sorry about that, and this is 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. And we're going to mix that up. Sorry if you hear Erica playing around in the background. Mix going on there, and then this is where I add just a sprinkle of cinnamon, just for smell, just to give it a little bit of an interesting smell other than just Play-Doh boring smell. So totally optional. I've made it plenty of times with it and it's never caused a problem. Usually the students that I had found it pretty neat and pretty interesting that it smelled like cinnamon. So sometimes I would change it up and do a different spice, but cinnamon was the easiest for them to recognize. Alright, so I have my 1½ cups of boiled or hot water, kind of cooling just a tiny bit here. Now it does say if you're going to be making one consistent colored dough, then you're definitely going to want to add your food coloring to the water. I'm thinking I'm going to make a couple of different colors, so I'm not going to be doing that step. So this is where you would add your food coloring if you were doing one dough, one color. Alright, and it's going to mix a lot easier if you're going to do it that way. Okay? So I'm going to let that cool just a tiny bit, a few minutes, and I will show you then. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have a little friend helping now. I've got my 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil ready to go as well. So I'm going to start putting it in, and we're going to start mixing. Are you ready, Erica? Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start off with the 1 cup. And mix it with the spoon as much as possible, and it allows it to cool. And I should not have put away my flour because I'm going to need more flour. This is way too sticky, so I shouldn't have added all that water. So I'll show you what I mean. This is far too sticky. Way too sticky. So I gotta get my flour back. That's probably a 4th cup or 3rd cup. Probably a 3rd cup. And I'm making a mess. Alright, so now I'm gonna put on my gloves. That looks a little bit better for consistency. I find this much easier now to get it out of the bowl and finish doing the kneading. Actually, to be honest, it could have that in the instructions, but I didn't read that part because I've done it so often that I didn't feel I needed to continue. And what I'll do also is put some flour down. Like when I'm making this with kids, this is the part when it starts to get a little bit easier to handle. Like this is not hurting me at all. It's not too hot. But you can see how it's still pretty sticky. So I'm going to want to add some more flour. So I think the only one that would be like a foolproof kind of recipe is the one that I've done on the stove. But you can't do that with students. You can't do that with children because, you know, unless they're a little bit older, because you're at the actual stove. So I believe it does tell you to knead for 2 minutes. So I don't want to add too much until I've kneaded quite a bit, because this is feeling pretty good to me. Alright, so it's feeling pretty good. It's still on the stickier side, but I think I'm going to leave it for now and just add my food coloring now and see how it comes together after a little bit. So, I'm going to take a little bit of dough, I'm going to separate it all out into the colors that we're going to do. So, let's do four different colors. Sticking to my table a tiny bit. So, yes, go, go, go. Watch, Mommy's going to add the colors now. We've got 4 colors here, so I think we're just going to do straight up colors. We've got red. Ah, my goodness. Red, blue, green, yellow. So, let's just do those. Let's do blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push like a bit of a hole in there. 2 drops should be pretty good. Let's see how that does. Look what's happening. Do you see? Ooh. Is that cool? Look at that color. Ooh. And it's also good to wear gloves at this point too, because if you do add too much food coloring, you'll be able to tell, because it'll be coming off on your gloves, which mine is not. So 2 for this amount of dough is pretty decent. It's not giving us a great vibrant color, so if you want like a really deep color, you're gonna have to go with more drops, but you risk that color change. So that's all nice and mixed. There you go, baby. You wanna try that? You wanna play with it? Oh yeah. What's that? That's Play-Doh. Now, so when I would make it with schools, I definitely made the colors a lot more vibrant, and I usually would only do 1 color. maybe 2. And if you're doing 2 colors, you can do it with the water. Just split your batch into 2 bowls, and you can do it that way as well. Alright, so I'm just mixing the last color here. I decided to make an orange color instead of yellow because I figured yellow would be kind of difficult to show up. So I did 4 drops yellow to 1.5 by accident drop of red, and it turned out really nice. It looks just beautiful with the other one. So I'm just going to roll these all into a ball. My counter's nice and dirty now, but I want you to see all the colors together. Woo! Erica's already done playing with it. Of course, she tried to eat it, but again, I know exactly what's in it. As long as she doesn't, you know, get too much of a taste, she'll be okay. Nothing here is toxic. And I can take my gloves off. Careful. Alright, so I took a smell. Honestly, I didn't put enough of the cinnamon for it to smell this time, so that amount that one sprinkle didn't do enough. So that's how my colors turned out. This was the red, this is the blue, and this is the green. And the green I also did 4 drops instead of 2. And I could even have gone darker, but I like that it looks like this because you can tell it's homemade dough. So that's what the consistency looks like. And to store it, what I do is I take plastic wrap or saran wrap and I wrap it around each color or each ball of dough, and then I put that into another bag and then just leave it in a cool, dry, dark place. So hope you liked this video. This is a little different video for me, but since we were making Play-Doh today, I thought I'd bring you guys along. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Check out the other videos if you would like to see more of us.